I've just been shopping again, which is an onerous task. Can you wear a mask, please, sir? Nope. Anyway, some of you are probably aware of this, and I'll speak about it anyway. I posted a video the other day. There was a lady, and she's a homeopathic health practitioner, and she was talking about the pandemic, call it whatever you want. And I got a message from YouTube that I had violated their guidelines, and in the view of public safety, that video was removed. I didn't get a strike, but I got a warning. So, okay. So they took the video down. So if you're wondering where that went, there you go. Public safety. Just went into a do-it-yourself store, B&Q, and as you're walking around, there's constant announcements in the background, about forklifts being operated on the shop floor, about keeping your distance, face coverings, and promoting safety. And then you go for a drive in your car and there's road signs, but there's not just road signs, there is more road signs that you could wave a shitty stick at. In the UK particularly, traffic cones. Instead of just putting out the number that's required, they put out millions of traffic cones, red traffic cones. So this is safety, 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 keeping you safe, protecting your safety and security, keeping you secure, peace and safety, security, peace, on and on and on and on. Now, a lot of people are not aware of it. They're just going about their lives, and all of this stuff is subliminal. But your subconscious mind, she takes everything in, whether you know it or not. So when you go shopping and you put a mask on, you're actually restricting your ability to breathe a little bit. Now, your subconscious mind and your body picks up on that, and it has anxiety. It's a natural, physiological, subconscious reaction to a stress that is being placed on the body. Now you might say, oh, the mask doesn't bother me, but it bothers your subconscious and it bothers your body. That's why when you meditate, it gets rid of the anxiety, the worry, it calms the subconscious mind. It turns her from being a whore that takes everything in into somebody that is really concerned with your peace and well-being within. Now at the moment you've got the government and big technology, logos, word, consciousness, logos is the consciousness, and they're all trying to replace or trying to do the work of the malak, do the work of higher consciousness, by promising peace and security. Good can only exist in the presence of evil. It has to be that way. How can you have knowledge of good and evil? One exists because of the other. Love, hate, pain, pleasure. You live in a duality. That duality facilitates choice. But if you're going about your day-to-day life and you're not aware of these things that your subconscious mind is being bombarded with, then it's hardly any wonder that mental health problems are on the increase, because the subconscious mind is being programmed from outside. It is truly insane. When your body's in a state of anxiety, it releases hormones, cortisol, or is it cortisone? I don't know. Which shuts down particular neurotransmitters in the neocortex. The neocortex is the part of your brain which is used for logic, reason, critical thinking, discernment. But if it's been shut down subconsciously, then people lose the faculty of higher brain function, and they become sheep, led to the slaughter. It really is that simple. And they don't realise it's going on. That's what's so fucking devious about it. And you've got people like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Soros, and they understand this psychology very well. Governments do as well. Governing the mind. And they employ these psychological operations to keep people out of their neocortex. And you can't reason with them because their centres of logic and reason have been turned off. That's the state of play. That is the state of affairs. I'll tell you what they're trying to do. They are trying to do the work of higher consciousness. Do not do the work of the malak, which is what the Apostle Paul did. Jesus Christ, higher consciousness, wrote 7 letters to the churches. The 7 letters of the chakras. The 7 glands of the endocrine system. And the Apostle Paul also wrote 7 letters. He's a copycat. Jesus Christ returned to the Father. Paul returned to Rome. Jesus Christ had a hole in his side where the living waters poured forth. This is where the Kundalini pierces the pineal gland and the waters pour forth. The living waters, the cerebrospinal fluid, which contains DMT, the sacred secretion, dimethyltryptamine. But the Apostle Paul had a thorn in his side, which was put there by Satan. Satan is low consciousness, and it was put there to control him, lest he boast. The book's a fucking masterpiece when you understand it. And then I look at the world, human affairs, madness. Bill Gates, the governments, politicians, they're all trying to do the work of higher consciousness, just like the Apostle Paul did. The Apostle Paul, it was him that spoke of there will be a great deception in the end days. The deception is low consciousness, people that haven't raised the Kundalini. That is the deception. It's a powerful deception. But some of you won't be fooled. Because if it was possible, it would even fool the elect. If it was possible. You know, it's quite sad. Fear, fear, fear. And it becomes virtue signaling as well. My neighbour, he wears a mask. He's a likeable young man, very intelligent. He's a scientist. But he's not very bright. He's a clever idiot. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. He was wearing a mask. Why on earth are you wearing a mask? Oh, yeah, to protect others. That's called virtue signalling. It's the same as going to church to show everybody how humble and how righteous you are. It's insane. Insane in the membrane. The planet, humanity is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And they're being played. And they're being played for fools, but they're not. When you're going about your day-to-day lives, just listen and watch. Eat everything that's put in front of you. Consider everything. Consider the colours, the information that's being fed into your brain, and just watch it. Don't think. Just watch and listen. That's discernment. When you start thinking, that's the mind. Put the mind aside. Discernment means setting apart the mind. Discernment. And you'll start to see that it's safety, security, peace, safety, security, peace, promise, 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 promise. It's a duality. They literally think that they are the chosen ones. They literally think that they are the leaders of humanity. And they think they have a birthright to rule over you. And what's really tragic is that the people, the masses, give these people the authority to do it. And then they protect the people that enslave them. That is classic Stockholm syndrome. And you cannot reason with them. So don't bother. That's none of your business. You look after yourself. Love yourself. Even the Apostle Paul said they become lovers of self, as if it was a bad thing. It's not. This world tells you to love everyone else at the expense of yourself. Learn to love yourself.